What's up guys, Bloodshed here. Today we're going to talk about stash cleaning in Diablo 3, stash organization 101. Now, I'm not the best at this. I actually had the worst stash space for years and years and years or whatever. I just recently organized everything, and on stream yesterday, I got loads of people asking me to make a stash cleaning video just to see what I did. Hopefully, whatever I did inspires you to do your own type of system, and maybe we can bounce ideas off each other. Definitely comment down below and let us know what you do differently. But okay, so we're gonna start at the character selection screen because it's really important as an overview of how I originally organized my characters. Well, on the top spot, I gave it to my hardcore character. I only allocate one spot for hardcore since I played normal mode mostly. So that might be a cool challenge, just rebirth the same character over and over every season and try to rip the character on purpose. That way you can free up your hardcore slot for a different character the following season. Now for my normal softcore classes, I allocated 2 spots per class and that's it. So like this would be like a Con Roland, right? And then the next one would be like Invoker, Seeker of the Light. And then my lesser 2 builds would be on the bottom, and my more used builds would be on the top Satyr. So on the top we have Trigul and Rothma, and then on the bottom we have like Inarius and Pestilence. And then the next spot we have Talvirs and so forth, right? So you get the idea. I kind of have my main character with my favorite 2 sets on top, and then my least 2 played on the bottom. Typically that's how it is with every setup. So I don't play that much Jade. Well, recently I have, but I play more Helltooth. Arik here is on top. As you go down, you'll notice I have 2 Overwatch symbols. These are bank alts. So I only allocate 2 bank alts for myself. I would recommend, I kind of like to keep my game time on all my characters. So like for instance, I have 183 hours on this wizard. So I'll probably rebirth it, and since it's a bank character, I won't miss any of the items if I need to do testing for YouTube or anything like that. These alts pretty much have full primal items, and they're not like really used that much, right? So you'll notice like a lot of these things aren't typically like used so often. Like I keep like this old executioner from vanilla, things like that. They're not really used that often. I probably won't miss them, but if I need to make a one-off build with like a blood brother, shout out to all the blood brothers out there, then you know what I mean, I'll do it. I know where to look, right? Like who needs a primal nutcracker? You know what I mean? I mean Christmas is coming, but you get the idea. Lesser used legendaries and primals go on the bank alts. You guys get the idea. Let's log into a character and just kind of go over how it would work with my stash system. Let's actually get into the stash, right? So stream's on, I'm logging into Wizard. We're gonna do some wizard farming, trying to get that new Death Wish that just got buffed. So I'm gonna go over here to my armory. I'm going to equip all my items, right? You might notice, Blood, why do you have stuff up here? So on all my characters, I pretty much have a top row of garbage, right? It's not garbage, it's actually ancient gear for Veers, or it would be, you know, other class gear. I just literally, when I log in, I throw it all on top. That's what this top row of the first stash tab is. It's just like my top shelf drawer, my junk drawer that I clean out my inventory. And every character has like a top shelf, right? Because there's 4 class sets, but there's only 2 characters allocated per class. So I need to put that stuff somewhere, and that's where it goes. This is pretty much where it goes. It fits perfectly for every character, and yeah. So let's start from the top. You can see I have my gems. You don't need this many gems, man. You don't need like over 10, 15,000, you know, marquee gems. Marquee gems are used in crafting materials for like your jewelry. We make a lot of starter builds, so I actually need this kind of stuff. But I definitely don't need that much, so you can have a lot less. Yours will look a lot cleaner. I keep, you know, my Ramalandis. This top shelf is like where your stuff goes. Like after you get off a rift, you can kind of just throw it all over. Throw over your keys, throw over your gems, you know, your infernal machines. Anything that you get just kind of gets thrown over. This is like the top shelf drawer. You know, everything gets shoved in here. But it looks good. It looks good. It looks good. The next tab, we have our legendary gems. So the armory pulled the gem off there, so you can see that's why it wasn't like organized completely, like in a line. But yeah, you get it. This is gonna grow even more because I'm gonna play a lot of season 12, and I'm just gonna continuously level up all my gems and things like that. So the next tab over, even more gems. I kind of left this open for growth because I really feel like, you know what I mean? I typically play the PTR, so I don't get to keep any of my progress. We played 2 months on the PTR, man. But Season 12, I feel like I'm going to be playing a lot of Diablo. So all this is probably going to fill up. So I'm kind of leaving room for future expansion here. The fourth tab, I have my follower gear. And I've been cutting this down smaller and smaller because I realize if I just gear out every follower, then I actually won't need it anymore. So I'm kind of limiting the number of follower gear. So like the Essa Johan, Oculus rings, like freeze deflector, like things like that are really good. And I only allocate 5 slots for potions since it's, you know what I mean? You don't really, once every character has one, you don't really need this. So this whole square can actually be removed for future expansion of Hellfire amulets. So this is the follower / Hellfire slot. They do kind of have the same color to them, so I don't know, it kind of makes sense. And then on the bottom we have our Staff of Hurting and just like, you know, leveling gear, which again, once you have all the characters leveled on non-season, you probably won't need this anymore. But yeah, as of right now, this is here, but this definitely can be removed. At least not the staff, but at least everything else, right? And then we have weapons. So these are more commonly used weapons as opposed to the Bank Alt, which has lesser used weapons. So like a Starfire is really important, or Relena's is used in a lot of things, Ingeom, things like that, right? So weapon tab, easy to understand. If you want to change the tabs, you just right click and you can actually put any type of icon you like. So that's really cool. I wish there was more icons because, yeah. Moving on. From the weapon tab, in the second row of stash tabs, we have the money, or I wanted to put something eye-catching. Get it? For Nemesis Bracers, because every build I jump on, we need some Nems in some capacity, right? So there's also like, you know, Parthens, which are really used, and I probably don't need this many Parthens, but when you have 3 main stat types like intelligence, strength, dexterity, and then you have all kinds of different elements, it's trickier. You have to really kind of go through and see what you like. Anyway, next we have our 3 jewelry tabs. The top jewelry tab is just like things that are really used, like, you know, Stone of Jordans, Unities, you know, Ring of Royal Grandeurs, Avarice Bands, and they typically have like trifecta stats on them, like attack speed, double crit, you know, or like they have strengths. Like this one right here, I can roll double crit strength. That's a really good Avarice Band. Yeah, so Crispins, just, you know, legendary rings, you get it. The next tab, we have the monster tab with Traveler's Pledge, used in almost every build right now. And Focus and Restraints with, you know, trifecta stats, typically double stats. So Invention of Elements here, right? As you can see, like all this stuff, you actually need tons of different I mean, there's like all the different elements, all the different stuff. So it's really, you really need to keep all these items. So, and then this kind of looks like a belt buckle. So this is kind of like my belt tab, but I also have some jewelry left over here. Lesser known, lesser used stuff, but you never know when you'll need a Flavor of Time or Zephyrian Amulet, double crit, attack speed Zephyrian. I don't know. This can actually go into one of the bank alts, but I leave this here for now because I like having it, I guess. The way this is organized is random stuff is stacked on each other because you don't really need that many. But I do have class items together. So we have like Crashing Rain. Actually, we can change that. I have some Crashing Rain. But typically I have like, so these are the bar belts, right? These are all the Witch Doctor belts. Necro amulets in a line. Wizard belts in a line. But yeah, I can probably, I don't need 3 Crashing Rains. I can probably take 1 Crashing Rain, put it over here. You know what I mean? We can definitely organize that better. And then I'll have room over here. I can probably pull these over. You guys get it. The next tab, the final 3 are basically just random armor tabs that I haven't fully decided how I'm going to do it, but they're also lesser used stuff. Like you almost never get to wear a Swami, typically. And you know, we have Frosties over here and, you know, things like that. So yeah, the last 3 are just armor tabs and it's kind of easy to kind of see. That's pretty much how I do my stash organizing. A big part of it has to do with the characters. Now, one thing to note is you do have to remove everything. So this, it takes work, but like I don't trust the armor to put things away, right? So I take off all my gems. I go like this. It takes, you could say it takes 30 seconds, but it saves you in the long run. So you have to take things like your jewelry, your belt. You can leave the weapon, right? The weapon doesn't matter. If it's part of the set, it can stay. Like this is part of the set. So it takes 30 seconds. but it does save you a lot of time, you know, in the end. So go like this, go like this, put everything away in its proper place. It's so hard for me to do because yeah, because you know I'm streaming, I'm trying to entertain people and all this stuff, and yeah, sometimes it's hard, but I've been better at it. So this goes here, obviously, and then the mouth can go like in the corner or like right here, right? And then we know where the money sign goes, the NEMs go here, and then you're done, and then you can switch characters. So it takes, if you think about it, it's only 30 seconds, and then you can grab your stuff before you leave in the top shelf, and then we're gone. We go to the next character and do the same thing and repeat, and everything is in its proper place. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, just me talking about my stash. Let us know again, what do you guys do differently in the comments below. It'll spark some conversation, and you know, maybe we can improve our organization. It's a pain, man. It's a pain. It really is. One last thing. Sorry. I think one of these spots is open. So like if I was to make room here for more Hellfires, I might actually keep puzzle rings. But as of right now, I don't keep any puzzle rings or bovines. But for PTR testing, I might. So all this stuff is going to be trashed in my bank. I only have a little bit left over. But yeah, so bovines and puzzles might replace like the follower tab once I get everything geared out and everything like that. So anyways, guys, thank you for listening. This is the Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.